everyone, and welcome back to another Jay the Wonder Gamer video. And today we're going to be talking about Stranger Than Heaven. And the reason I want to talk about that is because we really haven't gotten any new major information on the game basically since last year at the Summer Games Festival. Now, we did get a trailer last year around Tokyo Game Show, but that was a behind the scenes trailer and it really didn't show us anything new on the game. It was basically just I don't want to call it a music video, but we did get to hear the song from the second trailer in its entirety, unedited and uninterrupted by gameplay and voiceover from the game itself. So that was pretty cool, but I was very disappointed by that. I wanted to see one more major trailer before the year was over, and I kind of held out hope that we were going to see it at the VGAs last year because Jeff Keighley has pretty much been the guy who's shown off major trailers for Stranger Than Heaven. If you guys don't know, the first trailer, which is 1915, came out on the VGAs in 2024. Then we got the next major trailer, which was the 1943 trailer, that showed up at the Summer Games Festival last year. So I was kind of hoping that since there was a trend there that we were going to see a third trailer at the VGAs last year, which unfortunately we didn't. I was very disappointed by that. The reason I want to talk more about the game is because, like I said, we don't have a lot of new information, and I kind of want to figure out when we could possibly be seeing this game again. Now, for that, I personally have a theory. I think it could possibly show up again at the Summer Game Fest. Now, as I said earlier, my reason for this is because Jeff Keighley has had the major trailers for this game. Like I said, he had the debut trailer at the VGAs in 2024, and last year with the 1943 trailer at the Summer Games Fest. So I'm led to believe that either Sega and him are working together to have like maybe exclusive rights to showing off new information on Stranger Than Heaven than any of the other news sites or any other gaming event shows as well. So this is the reason why I think if we're going to get another big reveal trailer sometime this year, it's going to be at a Jeff Keighley event, and I personally think it could be the Summer Games Fest, only because if you look at when Stranger Than Heaven got its reveal trailer back in the VGAs of 2024, and then we got the next big trailer at the Summer Game Fest in 2025, and if you look at that, it's basically about like a 6 to 7 month window between each trailer, which in my mind makes me think that the game has to be further along than we think it is, and that's got me speculating that's probably a 2027 release. Now, I don't know if it's going to be a first quarter 2027 release or that's going to be more in the later half of that year, but that's speculation on that front, and that's not the whole point of what I'm trying to get through on this video. I'm just trying to rationalize why I think it could show up at the Summer Games Fest, and that is because if they're going to do that, they can start ramping up excitement for Stranger Than Heaven. And since RGG Studios doesn't seem to have anything else on the docket, because the only things we knew of at the time were Stranger Than Heaven, which we knew was going to be released later, and then their most recent title that just dropped, which was Yakuza Kiwami 3. But now that there is basically nothing that we know of other than Stranger Than Heaven that RGG Studios is working on, I'm led to believe that now they can kind of focus all their attention on marketing Stranger Than Heaven going forward, because that's their next big project. Those are the reasons why I think the Summer Games Fest could be the next place we could see the trailer. And if we do, I hope that means that Sega and RGG is going to go full throttle into like the marketing and the hype cycle for Stranger Than Heaven, so we can, you know, maybe get hyped about it, and maybe it will release in the first half of 2027 to make it into that fiscal year. But that's all speculation on my front and also kind of wishful thinking. But another thing I'd like to talk about is what I think the third trailer could be. Now, the theory about the game is that so far it seems to be that we think it's taking place in 3 distinct eras: 1915, 1929, and 1943. And we've already seen the 1915 and the 1943 trailers. So obviously, if it's taking place between those three, our last one would be the 1929 trailer. And honestly, what I would want from that trailer is basically what we've gotten from the other trailers: a new design for Mako, hopefully also brand new story elements as well to tie into what's going on in the 1929 chapter, as well as maybe explore some of the combat as well, because in the 1943 we did get to see some exploration, some combat, and a little bit of the story. So I'm kind of hoping that with the third trailer we're going to get eventually, that it just jumps off from the 1943 trailer and goes into greater detail with some of the combat, maybe the story as well. I'm not expecting them to go full ham on this and give us like a 3-minute trailer on this. I'm expecting like maybe at max a minute to a minute and a half trailer. The other thing I would hope that would happen with that trailer as well is that we would get a release window. I'm not asking for a release date unless we know it's coming early 2027 or heavens forbid late 2026. And I'm talking like probably late 2026, like think November to December. But I think that's very wishful thinking on my end. I think they're going to want to give this game basically maybe a year to maybe a year and a half of hype cycle before it releases. But my hope would be, like I said with this third trailer, is at the very end we we get a release window. Like I said, whether that's just blanket 2027 and then we speculate from there, or like 2028. I'll take either or. I don't need a specific release date. I'm not asking for that, but I would like at least a release window. But this is basically what I want to talk about in this video. If we don't see it at the Summer Games Fest, I think the next place, and probably one of the last places we could see it, would be at the VGAs. And again, the only reason I'm picking Geoff Keighley specific events is because, like I said, the two major trailers we've had for this game have only shown up at Geoff Keighley events. So I'm led to believe if we're going to get another massive update trailer, it's going to be at one of those events. And like I said, he only does 2 a year. So if we miss the summer, then we have to assume it'll happen at the VGA. And if it happens at the VGAs, we can kind of assume at that point that it's probably going to be a late 2027 game to early 2028 game. But these are some of my thoughts and the reasons why I wanted to make this video talking about Stranger Than Heaven, and is because I'm really excited for this game, guys. I really can't wait to see anything else on it, and I just been thinking, like, when could we possibly see it? And hopefully my reasoning made a little sense to you guys based on the patterns we've seen. But honestly, I would be perfectly fine if RGG and Sega literally dropped a trailer like the day after this video goes up, or even like a couple days after this video goes up, and we get a brand new big trailer that makes this video obsolete. Listen, I'm 100% fine with that. I just really want new information on this game, and I kind of want to get you guys excited for it as well, because if you haven't heard about this game, Stranger Than Heaven, I highly recommend you check out the 2 trailers that came out for it. It got me hyped for it. I will have a link in the description or the card to the video I did when I first came back talking about Stranger Than Heaven, and that goes in more depth about basically all the information we have on the game currently. I apologize that this video was more rambly than anything, but I just really wanted to talk about this game and talk about when we could possibly see it and start building up a little hype, because like I said, now that Yakuza 3 remake is done, the only thing we know from RGG Studios right now is Stranger Than Heaven, and I'm kind of hoping that means they're going to start focusing in on that game as well, so we can start the hype cycle for that and hopefully get you guys talking as well. Those are the reasons why I wanted to make this video, and I think I'm rambling at this point. I don't want to ramble anymore, but I really do like talking about games with you guys, and hopefully you find these videos entertaining, because I definitely like talking about games, and there's more I want to talk about. And just before I end it, I think we can say as of right now, at least in these first 3 months of 2026, has been crazy for reveals. Like, we've gotten game reveals for franchises that haven't had a new entry in 10 plus years. Like, this is crazy. I might even talk about some of those later, because I'm really interested in them as well. I just have to find the time and see if you guys are interested in listening to me ramble and list off reasons why I'm excited for these games. That's going to do it for me, guys. Like I said, I don't want to ramble. I want to thank you very much if you've managed to make it this far in the video. Also, sign off in the comments. Please let me know, have you ever heard of Stranger Than Heaven? If you have, are you excited like me? If not, and this is your first time hearing about it, are you curious enough to check out the trailers and hopefully check out my video, shameless plug as well, about the game? But again, I want to thank you guys very much for watching the video if you made it this far. I want you all to have a great day. I want you all to be safe out there, and remember, let's rock.